All right, let's get right into it. How does it actually feel to wake up every single morning knowing that a huge chunk of your paycheck is already spent before your feet even hit the floor? Knowing that the money you worked so hard for all week is going straight into the pockets of credit card companies and big banks before it ever gets a chance to work for you? Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are taking a totally unfiltered, no-nonsense look at the exact blueprint you need to claw your way out of suffocating debt and map out a real path to true generational wealth. We're going to dismantle the money myths that society has basically brainwashed us to believe, and we're replacing them with reality. So here's our roadmap for today. 1. The financial reality check. 2. Strategies to destroy debt. 3. The boring wealth reality. And 4. Your financial freedom blueprint.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the financial reality check.
So society has really conditioned us to believe that buying now and paying later is just normal. And because of this, young adults are making massive, catastrophic money mistakes before their careers even get off the ground. They're losing years of compounding time and future income in the process. To figure out where we go wrong, I want you to ask yourself a question: what does a millionaire actually look like? Seriously, picture one in your head right now. Are you picturing someone in a Lamborghini, dripping in designer clothes, popping bottles, flying private? Well, the data shows us a completely different story.
Just look at the stark contrast here between the social media illusion and the statistical reality. That highlight reel you see online, it's usually funded by credit cards with absolutely zero savings to back it up. People are optimizing their entire lives for how it looks to strangers on the internet. But statistically speaking, your average millionaire drives a reliable used car, lives in a modest house in an unremarkable neighborhood, and heavily invests in index funds. Real wealth is honestly kind of boring from the outside. That flashy lifestyle you're seeing, it's usually just debt dressed up as success.
And chasing that illusion, that leads us straight into some critical traps. The most devastating one is for sure not investing early. That literally costs you compounding time that you can never, ever buy back. Then there's treating credit cards like free money. I mean, carrying a balance and paying 25% interest every month, that is a wealth-destroying machine right there. Add to that ignoring your credit score, letting your lifestyle inflate every single time you get a raise, and trying to keep up with the spending habits of friends whose actual bank accounts you can't even see. These are the traps that literally steal your future.
So to stop the bleeding, you need a plan, not a prison. Enter the foundational 50-30-20 budgeting rule. It's super simple. You allocate 50% of your take-home pay to your absolute needs, 30% to your wants, and a strict, non-negotiable 20% to savings and investments. It's just 3 buckets that tell your money exactly where to go instead of getting to the end of the month and wondering where it went.
Moving right along to Section 2, strategies to destroy debt.
Look, a budget is great, but it won't save you if you're drowning in past mistakes. Debt is absolutely one of the most suffocating financial situations a person can be in. Now, it's not a life sentence, but defeating it requires a highly tactical, aggressive strategy. Step 1, you have to face your enemy completely. You need to create a complete debt inventory. Write down every single debt you owe across 4 categories: who the lender is, the total balance, the interest rate, and your minimum payment. Now, looking at this list all in one place might feel totally overwhelming and genuinely depressing. And you know what? Good. Let it feel that way. Use that discomfort as fuel because you cannot fight an enemy you refuse to look at.
But wait, before you go all in on attacking that debt inventory, there is a vital prerequisite: $1,000. You absolutely must build a small emergency buffer of $1,000 in cash before aggressively paying down your balances. Why? Because the unpredictability of real life is gonna happen. The car will break down. The water heater will burst. If you don't have this cash buffer ready to go, that emergency expense goes straight back onto the credit card, and the whole cycle of debt just starts all over again. This number right here, this is your firewall.
All right, firewall's in place, so it's time to choose your weapon. You basically have 2 main options. First is the avalanche method. This one is mathematically optimal. You list your debts from highest interest rate to lowest, and you throw all your extra cash at the most expensive debt first. It definitively saves you the most money. But then you have the snowball method. This one prioritizes psychology. You order your debts by balance from smallest to largest, and you attack the smallest one first. You get a quick win, you feel that rush of momentum, and that motivates you to keep going. So which is better? Honestly, the one you will actually stick to.
Regardless of the method you choose, though, the speed of your payoff comes down to one simple thing: finding extra cash. And here is your 3-step engine to generate it. 1. Cut your expenses aggressively. Go through your budget with a machete. Cancel the subscriptions. Stop eating out. 2. increase your income. Pick up some extra shifts, start a side hustle, sell some stuff online. And 3, throw all windfalls directly at the debt. Tax refunds, bonuses at work, $50 from grandma for your birthday, no detours, absolutely no treating yourself to a celebratory dinner for paying off a card. Burn that debt down as fast as humanly possible.
Okay, Section 3, the boring wealth reality. Just imagine the weight lifting off your shoulders when you owe nobody anything. What happens next? Well, this is the post-debt phase where we pull the curtain back on the unfiltered truth about what it actually takes to become a millionaire. I really want this quote to sink in. Drip does not build wealth. Discipline does. Real wealth isn't built by buying depreciating aesthetic assets just to impress total strangers on the internet. It is built on unglamorous, consistent discipline applied over decades.
And this brings us to a massive misconception. People spend their entire lives focused on getting a high income. But think of a leaky bucket. Income without financial discipline leaves you completely broke, even if you're pulling in $200,000 a year. The wealthy, they focus on high net worth. That means assets, savings rate, and retained wealth. The difference between making a lot of money and actually keeping it, that is everything.
Now, let's look at the sheer, almost unfair mathematical power of time. Let's say you start at age 22, investing just $200 a month, and then you completely stop at age 32. You don't put another dime in, you just let that money compound until you're 65. Believe it or not, you will actually beat someone who waited until age 32 to start, even if that person invests $200 every single month for 30 straight years. Let that sink in. 10 years of investing early beats 30 years of investing later, simply because of when it started. Do not wait.
Seriously, guys, when it comes to true wealth, boring is the new sexy. You don't need some viral tech business idea or a lucky crypto moonshot. You just need to max out your retirement accounts, buy broad index funds, and avoid lifestyle inflation. It is absolutely not going to get you likes on social media, but it will get you $1 million net worth while everyone else is out there chasing excitement that never actually pays off.
Finally, we've arrived at Section 4, your financial freedom blueprint. Let's pull all of this together into a cohesive strategy for your life going forward. The ultimate secret sauce to growing your net worth is found right here, the wealth gap. It is simply the space between what you earn and what you spend. When you get a raise or tap into a new income stream, the temptation is always to upgrade your lifestyle. Don't do it. Keep your expenses flat and invest the difference. Preventing lifestyle inflation keeps your wealth gap wide, and the wider that gap is, the faster your wealth is going to grow.
To keep that gap wide, you've got to internalize a few core reality rules. First, realize that smart debt, like a mortgage on an appreciating asset, is a tool. Consumer debt is a trap. Second, don't go it alone. Surround yourself with a community of growth-minded people. Third, address your money mindset. You have to unlearn those toxic beliefs you inherited about money. Fourth, accept that wealth requires personal sacrifice. It means saying no to things today so you can have total freedom tomorrow. And finally, $1 million is just a milestone. It's not a destination. The money won't fix your internal problems. It just gives you options and security.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final provocative question. Will you trade present pleasure for future freedom? Becoming a millionaire is definitely not an overnight fairy tale. It requires making the right moves when it's deeply, deeply uncomfortable. But the path is crystal clear and the math absolutely works. The journey to financial peace starts today with the very next decision you make. Are you ready to build different? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.